London, January 21st, 1920. The First World War is over. Soldiers are home. Nurses return with ribbons on their chests and pain in their eyes. Among them, Emily Shore, a decorated wartime nurse, known to many as Nightingale for her selfless service in France. She was 33, kind, intelligent, brave, and on that cold evening, she boarded a train from Waterloo Station, bound for Bexhill. But she never arrived. Somewhere between London and the coast, Emily Shore was murdered. No one saw it happen. No one was ever arrested. Her killer simply vanished into the night. Today, over a century later, artificial intelligence revisits her final moments, reanalyzes forgotten details, and reconstructs the murder that stunned Britain and was never solved. Emily Shore had just visited a friend in London. It had been a routine trip. She carried a small black handbag and wore a conservative dress, gloves, and a felt hat pinned tightly to her head. She chose a third-class compartment, the kind with a narrow bench, low lighting, and a latch door. Alone, quiet. It was 6 p.m. when the train left the station. Witnesses recall seeing her, polite, reserved, perhaps tired. A few said she looked distracted. Witness number 1. She was reading something, a letter maybe. Then she folded it and just stared out the window. Witness number 2. I saw a man walk by the window. He looked in for a second, then moved on. Didn't think much of it then. At 6:20 p.m., as the train neared Bexhill, a porter reported hearing a muffled scream. Sharp, quick, then nothing. When they opened the carriage door, they found her collapsed near the seat, blood seeping from a head wound. Her handbag was missing. No money, no valuables left behind, just absence. There was no sign of forced entry. No one saw anyone leave. The attacker was a ghost. The investigation was swift and quickly stalled. Police questioned over 60 people who were on the train, at stations, or in towns nearby. But nothing stuck, until they found the letters. Among Emily's belongings were several handwritten letters, all signed Dudley Clark. Clark and Emily had met during the war. She cared for soldiers. He inspected them. Witnesses said he admired her. Others said he fixated on her. The first letters were friendly. The next grew romantic, then desperate, angry, controlling. You cannot ignore me forever, Emily. I waited. I wrote. I deserved an answer. You made me invisible. Clark claimed he had taken a train from Brighton that evening. But AI found a critical discrepancy. A rare maintenance delay, found in an archived railway ledger, shows Clark's train was delayed 11 minutes, placing him within walking distance of Bexhill when the scream was heard. His alibi shattered, silently, by a forgotten train delay. We trained an AI model to reanalyze the case, not just the facts, but the silence between them. Using hundreds of variables, vintage train schedules, station layouts from 1920, weather data, and regional train speed variations, the system created a probabilistic movement map, plotted where each person could realistically be, minute by minute. Dr. Dudley Clark claimed he took a Brighton-bound train that made it impossible for him to be in Bexhill when the murder happened. But AI flagged something no human had noticed: a train route alteration due to scheduled track maintenance, noted in an obscure regional record from that week. This added an unexplained 11-minute delay to Clark's claimed route. That delay collapses his alibi. It places him within walking distance of Bexhill Station just minutes before Emily was found. Using AI-enhanced gate simulation, historical carriage architecture, and forensic modeling, the system reconstructed the attack timeline. It shows that the killer likely entered through the end door of the third-class carriage, which was briefly unlocked due to a mechanical fault reported weeks before. Inside, the attacker delivered one precisely angled blow to Emily's left temple, consistent with a narrow object, roughly 36 inches long, with a weighted tip. Forensic pattern projection reveals a low, lateral blood spatter, meaning she was seated and likely caught off guard. There was no struggle, no defensive wounds. AI analyzed over 200 witness statements from surrounding cases and generated a behavioral profile of the killer: obsessive, composed, methodical. It matched Clark's known personality traits and writing style. Not proof of guilt, but a chilling correlation. I watched her serve the wounded. I wrote her name every day. She never answered, not even once. The model suggests the motive wasn't robbery. It was humiliation, rejection, a need to reclaim power to punish her silence. Dudley Clark was never arrested. The case remained open and slowly faded into the vaults of forgotten crimes. But today, through simulation, psychology, and cold logic, artificial intelligence paints the clearest picture we've ever had. It doesn't point a finger, but it draws a map and leaves the rest to us. Emily Shore died with medals on her chest and no one to speak for her. Now a machine has. This was the Nightingale Shore Murder. Unsolved, unforgiven, reconstructed by artificial intelligence. Subscribe to AI Detective Files, cold cases, digital forensics, forgotten truths remembered by machines.